Go time! Hello. No one will be watching this because they'll join after. It'll skip. Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video. Well, another stream on the channel. I thought, well, I looked at the scores yesterday and Jake looked keen. And I thought, I'll ask him, does he fancy League One Live? And I knew the answer. We always say, oh, we're not doing it. But we always say, if there's 6 games, we'll do it. And what? We've got enough games to cover it, really. And I think it's important, the good games. You know, but I think, you know, if this was in the first half of the season, would we have done one? Maybe not. But I think that it was Burton's result that inspired me the most, if I'm honest with you.
There's a reason.
David, no, I've got he's got me my eyes on. We've gone with blue because there's a team going to Wembley, which we'll come to in a bit as well. If I was to ask you, Jake, if the score would have been Mansfield 3, Lincoln 0, don't go, it wasn't. What would you have said to me? Said League One Live.
I would have gone line
off and ending fudge.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
No, I think what we said was privately after the show on Sunday was if there were enough goals that we would do one, and if the scores were decent, and looking at it, we had a good win for Orient away at Wrexham, which was outstanding. We had a 3-0 demolition job in Mansfield. We had Burton doing me a favour, so that made me happy. Huddersfield back to winning ways. CRALWEY Wigan, well, that was crap. So yeah, I mean, lots to talk about, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
I am as well. Let me know if you can see and hear me, us in the chat. That'd be great. Like the stream if you can do as well. I just thought, let's go live. How was your night last night, mate?
It was good. It was so good to go to Mansfield and win. The night was good as well. It was a nice, easy car drive. You'll feel the same when you go somewhere like Accrington or Morecambe on a Tuesday night. It's just nice to not go to have a really far away day. That we've had quite a few recently. Home for 11, 3 goals, deserved to win. They were bad. We'll come on to them a little bit later, but they were bad. And yeah, it was good. It was good, mate. I don't know if you've seen the housery from Sam Clucas, which I'm sure we can come on to.
He scored against us for Mansfield in 2014 in a 5-4 win for the 2013 for Mansfield. We won 5-4.
Oh, I love him even more. Then. Yeah, no, it was good, mate. It was nice. It was good. I had a when we went to Mansfield in March, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I thought the pies that day were good. Remember, we had a pie, didn't we? The pies there last night were woeful. It was a sad excuse of a pie. So naturally, being on a cheat day, I had a burger afterwards to try and fill the void. And I could honestly, it was that crunchy it could have taken half my tooth out. And it was never mind.
They got the ground.
Yeah, well, yeah, because obviously they anticipate trouble between Lincoln and Mansfield. There was a lot of police around, and that gate that we were waiting at. When we were chatting with Joe Taylor, and I was telling him how much is it going to cost for you to come back forever, and I can keep you that gate. Well, they locked that permanently so that Lincoln and Mansfield can get at each other. So we had to walk all the way around, and there's not a lot in Mansfield to be. I don't know, either Mansfield away before, like with Fleetwood.
No. Never been in the league. They've always been in League 2 and we were in League 1, and they go up as we go down.
There's not a lot to talk about to do in Mansfield.
Yeah, I tell you what, right? I'm fed up with Fleetwood. It fries me because yesterday we were really good. We had 16 corners yesterday.
Yeah. Thanks for the mentions.
Yeah.
Colleague.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, my colleague, and then wink down the camera.
Let me see if I get up. You talk, and let me see if I can play it because nobody wants to view nil-nil. You just talk for 30 seconds.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll say hello to everybody, nappers. Hello to Chris Lamb. Hello to Jamie. Luke is here. Very happy with Gary Bowyer. Dan Richardson. Hello, gorgeous. Hope you're okay. I hope you're looking after Helen for me. David, hello. See you on Saturday. Of course, Parmex is here. Later on, it won a game. Sue, hello. I love you. Fenton, hello. I love you. We're just recording the podcast. Colin is here as well from the Fan Zone podcast. Ben, one of our favourite podcasts. I'm sure we'll be seeing Colin and some of the Fan Zone podcast very soon. Marcus, don't talk about last night. Sorry, Marcus. That's going to happen. Hello, Sadie. Hello, T-Coms. Who else have we got here? Who else is here? Anne-Marie has just showed up.
Right.
What a woman. What a woman.
Are you
Hello,
ready?
Anne-Marie. I hope you're well.
So, I got tasked to mention Alistair Smith and this man's name.
No, he's a fantastic player. And, I watched him at Colchester last year, Alistair Smith. He's a very good footballer. He's very highly rated at Lincoln. Mike, like I said before, my colleague, not friend, colleague at Lincoln, often raves about him. And he's a good footballer.
There you are. There you are. Right. We've gone for blue as the colour because Birmingham are going to Wembley. Congratulations. What a surprise that they are in the final. If any Birmingham fans can maybe help me out to get a ticket so I can do a video.
I reckon one of them will help you out. I reckon.
Thank you very, very much. It'd be very much appreciated.
I reckon I can get someone
in the flesh, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, it'll be Wrexham at the end, won't it? You think Wrexham or Peterborough? I bet you're hoping for Peterborough because Peterborough sell about 5 tickets. So don't worry about that.
Jakey Poo, come on. Watching Leyton Orient putting on a show. It was a hard-fought battle at the racecourse, but a game that they come from behind to win. Ollie Rathbone strike to make it 2-2 for that man. Charlie Kelman levelled the scores with a nice finish into the far corner. It's a brilliant touch and a great finish. And Jamie Donnelly, how many times have we mentioned that boy's name on League One Live? What a strike. The best bit about the goal was how it thumped the net and it clicked like the bottom of the net and come back up into the kind of the roof of the net. I don't know if you noticed that as well.
I saw the goal,
really,
mate,
yeah, well done. Really good strike. You do what you get paid for. Well done. It's a really good strike. However, after that, Wrexham do have a couple of opportunities where Leyton Orient managed to clear their lines. This was Wrexham's first home game against Leyton Orient since, in the Football League, that is, since a 2-1 defeat in January 2006. They've now lost back-to-back home games against Leyton Orient. I will tell you a little stat that everybody will be blown away with from this. So from the squad that played in 2006, the squad that played yesterday, it was a complete 11 changes. And
wow.
There were 7 new substitutes on the bench. Don't tell you don't get analysis on this channel. You don't get anywhere else. Leyton Orient have only lost one of their last 11 league games against newly promoted sides, winning 8 of those, drawing 2. Who do you think they lost to, Jake?
They lost to Stockport.
Well done. Earlier this month. That's their only defeat in their last 15 matches as well. Leyton Orient have won 5 of the last 6 away games, only drawing 0-0 away at Peterborough this year. That day, the speed camera wasn't quite on, and they got away but with the 1 point that day. An unbelievable turnaround for Richie Wellens' Leyton Orient. They are now firmly into the playoff spot, 3 in front of Charlton and 3 in front of Bolton Wanderers. An absolute massive game at the Tough Sheet on Saturday evening, or Saturday afternoon, should I say, awaits for the O's against a Bolton side improving under Stephen Schumacher. But going to Wrexham, going to these grounds, they won't fear anyone, as Richie Wellens' Leyton Orient are putting on a show.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? They're pretty good to go to Wrexham and win. I mean, I know they lost to Stevenage a couple of weeks ago, but apart from that, Wrexham's home record has been pretty flawless. Not even Huddersfield could go there and win. Blues went there and drew as well. Wycombe lost on opening day as well. So it's a tough place to go for the good teams. And Orient went there. I know they went a goal down. Ollie Rathbone. It was quite a nice finish, to be fair, from him. But this Leyton Orient team, I found it out at the weekend, are built with character. Richie Wellens has instilled that into them. They've got a really young, hungry group that are showing no fear at the moment. I think you can see that with the goal scorers. Charlie Kelman's only a young lad. Obviously, Jamie Donnelly at Spurs, that volley was outstanding to roll it into the corner in the manner he did. Yeah, no, they're on a good run at the moment, aren't they, Leighton? Obviously, the news coming out this week that they're now in a period of exclusivity with a potential new ownership group, which should bring more funds. And that's the important thing, isn't it? You have to get these things while you've got momentum. You need all these things to fall into place. I think of Bournemouth when they were flying through the leagues and they got that new American ownership right when they were flying through League One and into the Championship, and it helped them kick them onto the Premier League. It is so important. And Leighton Orient look like they're going to have that. They've got a manager who is playing phenomenal football with a really good group of young footballers, and they go into each game not fearing anybody. I feel like the game against Man City, as Parmex mentions there, it was a massive help for them. And yeah, I mean, to go to Wrexham is outstanding, and they played really well on the night as well and deserved the win. Yeah, Bolton on Saturday is a big game, but Leighton Orient, the form they're on at the moment, the fact they've gone to grounds and got big results like last night, you got to back them to go there and maybe even beat Bolton. They're now 31, 32 games into a League One season, and they are clear of Bolton Wanderers. They'll go there thinking they can win, and the football they play, I don't see why it's not a possibility.
What do you think's happening to Wrexham? Do you think, in a way, that we talk about squad sizes? I think there's a middle ground, a perfect medium. And I think that Wrexham, they've got 7 strikers. You've got Mullen, haven't they? They've got Palmer, they've got Fletcher, they've got Mo Fall, they've got Marriott, they've got Rodriguez and Smith, haven't they? 7 strikers. Mullen obviously wasn't in the squad on Saturday, and a lot got said about that, didn't it? Where why he's not in the squad? He's been an absolute cult hero, for this football club. Again, wasn't in the squad yesterday either. And I get that you can only name 7 substitutes. I just wonder something like that. I've not been a fan of Jay Rodriguez yet. Again, I don't think he's done much in the 3 games. He's been okay at periods. They've just started to slip up where they wouldn't do before. You go back to January time, they lost away at Barnsley. They bounced back against Peterborough, but defeats away at Shrewsbury. They got a decent point against Birmingham, which they should have won that game. Lost to Stevenage, 3 weeks ago. In February, they did manage to go to CRALWEY and win. They did manage to beat Northampton, don't get me wrong, but slip-ups. They are slipping up a little bit more, or they're just losing the odd home game, which they weren't doing previously. I'm not sure what to think of them. However, they are firmly in a playoff spot, and this is a phenomenal season for them. They did gamble a little bit this January by putting a bit of money in. They are now 5 points clear. Every time you think they're getting away from Wycombe, that win for Wycombe last night takes them 5 points clear. And although you think Wrexham are chasing them down, in the last 6, Wrexham have only picked up 7 points. Wycombe have picked up 12. That's 2 points a game. Birmingham City have picked up a measly 16 points. The standards are slipping at that football club. Should be having 19 points out of 18. Come on now. Stockport County have also picked up 16 points. Huddersfield, who've been dreadful in previous, all of a sudden back-to-back wins. They've as many points as Wrexham in the last 6. And with 15 games to go, look, they will get into the playoffs. It's still been a good season. I'm just not. I don't know. Something's slowly changing at that football club.
I think Wrexham was starting to be found out a little bit. You look at it, and I spoke to a Wrexham fan when we played them. He told me that the way to beat Wrexham was by giving them the ball. And you look at the game yesterday. Wrexham had a fair amount of the ball and a lot of the momentum in the game. Yeah, I think they're just being found out a little bit. I think teams are canning on to the fact that they play out wide. They like to get the ball out to Barnett and out to McLean. If you can stop those 2 in the game, then I think you can pretty much stop Wrexham. You look at a lot of their goals come from crosses. Barnett's been a great source of assists this year, as is McLean on the other side as a constant threat. But if you can clog them, Wrexham have to play through the middle. You can easily marshal players through the middle. So I don't know. I think they've been sussed out a little bit. I think teams have played them once already, figured out how to beat them, and clearly that's come to case. But you're right, Ben. It has been a good season. They put a bit of money into it, but I don't think they went out and got a player that's guaranteed to get them up a level. I think Sam Smith, and we've had this conversation privately, I think Sam Smith is a very good centre forward. I think he's a top end League One centre forward. I don't think he's a player that is going to get you into the Championship. To spend a lot of money on someone like him. Look, like you say, it's a good season, newly promoted. A lot of people are saying it's a fairy tale. It's not a fairy tale, is it? The money that they've spent, absolutely not a fairy tale. But they've got points on the board. They're strong at home, mainly. It's been a good season, Ben. You're absolutely spot on. It's absolutely spot on. But they will have hiccups. And I think people expected them earlier on in the season. And now you look at the first, did they go 16, 17 games at home unbeaten? Or whatever it was. We're setting a really high standards of Wrexham now.
Yeah.
And now when they slip up, it's headline news because it's Wrexham and the circus that surround them. So, look, they've got a chance to get, if you'd have offered Wrexham a Virtue Trophy final at Wembley with Birmingham and to finish in the top 6 this year, I think every single Wrexham fan would have snatched your arm off.
I think that respect needs to get said that game of football in the semi-final hasn't been won yet. They're in a semi-final. They're not in a final, Jake, at all.
But if they get there, that's what I'm saying.
They're likely to get there. All I'm going to say is because Peterborough fans will comment on this video after when they win and they'll come at you. So I'm trying to protect you. How
about that, posh fans? Carry on.
You're as bad as that Everton, that Wigan player, aren't you? At first, I thought he was doing 6 fingers to show that the Everton fans had 6 fingers. At first, I thought, oh, he's a Liverpool fan. 6 times. That's why. No, 100%. They're 1.9 points per game. They are, a point clear of Stockport with a game in hand. They are 3 clear of Huddersfield with a game in hand. They are 5 clear of Leyton Orient. But again, pressure. They built pressure, and pressure is for tyres. Mansfield 0, Lincoln 3. A great result for the Imps. 3 goals, 3 points, a clean sheet as the Imps get back to winning ways. Next up, Stevenage 0, Burton Albion 1.
Set piece again, ole, ole.
So all I will say is, right, before yesterday, Lincoln City had won 10, drawn 10, lost 11. Fleetwood were 10, 10, and 10, right? So I've been thinking, Fleetwood and Lincoln this year, very familiar. How can you go familiar? Is, well, a team reliant on set pieces. Paddy O'Connor deliberately got into the stadium after being refused entry as he was suspended for 2 games of football. However, managed to play the game and find a way to score through a very open Mansfield team that have been handing out more points than Father Christmas does presents on Christmas Eve.
Speed camera.
Is that tough? Is that harsh? We'll go with it. Paddy O'Connor, who statistically has been one of the best centre-backs in the division this year. I sound like you. Oh, my God. Well, Paddy O'Connor, statistically...
I think that is what I wrote this morning on Twitter.
Yeah, it is. It might have been. And then Sam Clucas also scores a fluke. And then Dom Jeffries adds a goal a minute from time as well. A really, really nice finish that, however, should have been scrambled as well. For the first time in football history, Mansfield have now lost 4 games on the spin at home, which is not a great kind of period. No, sorry, for the first time in 2013, first time in League One for a long while as well. The Stags now have lost 8 of their last 9 matches after going on a really good run. They did go through a similar spell in around October where they lost 5 on the spin as well. Christy Pym did actually make a couple of good saves because Lincoln started really well. They had corner after corner. James Collins had a good opportunity as well. Dom Jeffries as well was brilliant. But in the spell that he had on as well, James Collins looked lively as well. You know what you're going to get. He's ready made. I'd die out for. I know it's late too. I'd die out for a player like Fleetwood as well, Collins as well. I thought the balance of the team was really good as well. You've got Bayliss, McGrandles, and House in midfield that often attacking output as well, just in behind Jovan, McCartney, and Collins as well. G-Cock coming in with assists as well, with a clean sheet as well, which is important for them. Jake, you must be as happy as me as I see Cole has donated 99p. Thank you so much, Cole. You hero.
Thanks, Cole.
Love you.
Thanks, Cole. Appreciate that. Should we talk about Mansfield before we talk about Lincoln? Because it would be unfair for me to go on half an hour about Lincoln, as easy as it would be. I thought Mansfield yesterday, I'll tell you what, Ben, Caelan Vickers, I've come on here and I've said it a few times, looked really good, looked really tidy. Some nice touches, got us turning towards our own goal. The problem with Mansfield was they got into some good areas. And I said this about Leighton Orient last season and at the start of this season, but they just couldn't. The final ball just wasn't there. Like, they had Evans up front and Lucas Akins was causing issues on the right-hand side, but the balling just wasn't very good. Whether that's the devoid of confidence, whether that's the tactics of Nigel Clough, I'm not overly sure, but they were lethargic. They didn't have a huge amount of goal threat. I don't think they had a single shot on target. If I'm Mansfield Town, I'm worried. I'm really worried.
Yeah.
Like Marcus was there, 1 in 24. I think what's going to save them from getting relegated is the good start they had. Like, they had a phenomenal start. They were in the playoffs. Yeah. They went away to Barnes in one on opening night, didn't they? I thought that saved them, because if they hadn't had that, if Mansfield were, I would say, 5 or 6 points worse off, I'd be really, really worried. And still, they've probably still got to get another 3 wins just to make sure that they're in the league. They need some help. Like, defensively, I think they had 3 defenders went off yesterday. They've got injury crisis at the back. They played Akins, Bowery played there. What's his name went off? Hewitt went off. Fraser Blake Tracy went off. So they're in strife in terms of defenders. So if you're playing Mansfield in the next 2 weeks, I'd be buzzing, because they ain't really got any defenders. Christy Pym, Ben.
All back 3 went off yesterday as well.
Yeah. So Christy Pym, little arms, as I like to call him. He's not. He was good at Exeter, wasn't he? To be fair to him, he was. We're going to be here for half an hour, Jack. Don't worry.
We're not. We are not.
Joking.
He's going off at 31 minutes.
I'm not going to talk that long about Lincoln. Don't worry. Little arms. One very good at coming for crosses. Mansfield were bad, and I'd be worried if I was a Mansfield fan. Absolutely. Onto the bright stuff. We were okay. I thought we were good. I think 3-0 flattered us a little bit, to be honest. We started the first half quite well. Tom Bayliss had a good chance. I think the corner before we scored there, Pym made a decent save. We had 1 ruled out for offside. Lots of good performances over the park. Makama, outstanding. Clucas, when he came on, it was a fluke, but it was a great fluke. To score his first ever Lincoln goal in front of Mansfield, had been giving him a load of stick for the first half an hour of the game. It was outstanding. The celebration.
If Keanu Bacchus did that for Mansfield, look, their only chance, their only goal was a fluke. Look, it somehow finds its way into that. And if you're relying on luck, they're going to struggle. If it's Lincoln, it's a brilliant.
In fairness,
he's back in the team. He had great quality on the ball. He floated it in so well.
In fairness,
guy!
In fairness,
he's got the fan base rocking, and the playoffs aren't far away.
No.
This man.
No. But if it doesn't go in, Adam Jackson's there to tap it in. So it was a goal either way, really. Dom Jeffries, someone I've been a massive fan of all season. He was outstanding when he came on. Michael got the subs right yesterday, and that was the difference. I've come on here before and criticised Michael for not getting the right subs, but he got the right ones on yesterday, bringing on Jeffries, bringing on Hamilton. Draper made the 3rd goal as well. So, look, it was a good night's work. I'm not going to say we're going to finish Wales because we're not. We're nowhere near it. It was a good night's work. Nice to win away at Mansfield. Always a pleasure. Loved driving home. Being home for 11, it was fantastic. Great performance. 3 goals, 3 points, and a league double over Mansfield.
I must admit, I was smiling when I saw the results. I was like, first thing, because I'll be honest with you, doing commentary, I don't see results. So I don't look at, so you know, the game, like, I'll have a sneaky look on my phone if the game goes far. I don't. I'm not in that opportunity to do it. So I wait for after the game and I go through it and I remember walking out going, go on, Burton. I looked at Lincoln and I thought, Jesus Christ, like what's happened there? And I thought, for a minute I smiled and I thought, oh, yeah. And then I wait at about 11 o'clock. I'm a bit, yeah, 0-0 again. Create a content 0-0. You know how I don't like them trying to polish a 0-0 basically. Yeah, I don't want to be crude. I don't want to upset Sue. She won't. She'll love it. To be fair, if you said it, it'd be read the room. If I say it, no, it's fine.
Read the room.
Fine. Good lad, Ben. Good lad. You go for it, Jake. Read the room, Jake. And you rang me. I thought, oh, here we go. And normally I have to ring him, and if he lost his, I'm fed up. This team, when they win, oh my God, I couldn't shut him up yesterday. I was like, mute. You know, like when. But tell you, I was about to say, when when Ben Natman's on commentary, mute.
Yeah.
Great result for Lincoln yesterday. Fantastic performance. Limited, Mansfield to 0 shots on target, a disrupt back 3, but they really used the size really well. Re to the Y. Derek, where he was been powerful, strong, and I thought Collins was outstanding yesterday as well. And look, Lincoln, when they don't have the ball, a better footballing side. They had 33% of the play yesterday, but so effective when they had it, and they allowed them to play. And when they got it, they passed it to somebody that could play, as Brian Clough would want his sides to make. And when Nigel Clough's side had it, they were poor, they were lackluster. Lincoln, I'm so used to saying Wimbledon sat in a really good Lincoln sat in a really good defensive structure and counteracted it really well. My issue is when Lincoln have the ball, can they break down the team? And I think that's the problem for a lot of clubs at this level. Wrexham, Blackpool especially, Mansfield, Lincoln, is about having the quality. And I'm having that problem with Fleetwood at this moment in time. However, again, great result. If you could all like the stream as well, massively appreciated. We are 25 subscribers from 16,500. 25 away. There's 75 in here. I reckon there is 25 people in this stream that aren't subscribed. So if you could all just press subscribe, let's all press it together at once. So we're all subscribed and all like the video at once. Because it does help. Yeah.
I should probably subscribe to you by now, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should be. You should have been subscribed 5 years
ago. Don't worry.
Oh, you won't like me. But I'll tell you something in a minute. So you need to all subscribe, all like, because it does. Because I like bring people in as well. So
I've even got your notifications on, mate. Look.
Just be careful. There's no Tinder notifications on there, boy. Also, as well, I was on BBC Radio Humberside before Grimsby, and you won't be a big fan of that. However, I did get a Lincoln mention in that. I went, obviously, when Matty Virtue played for Lincoln, he was fantastic there. A really good progressive football club. And Matty Virtue has been outstanding since coming into the football club. Met with silence. So,
yeah, I bet.
You've got me trained.
A little bit jealous.
You've got me trained, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
did he send you that video as well?
What? No. I just know that. So, a little story. When Fleetwood beat Port Vale, we were 12 points drift before we won 3-0. They played the Great Escape. I thought, I'm not sure. Then they played it. Then I thought, I got it going. I started singing it at Bristol R. I was like 6 points adrift. Fleetwood got gradually closer. And I just kept playing that song. That song I must have played on my spot by about 200 times last year just to try and cheer me up. But a brilliant result for Burton away from home. Burton now have only won 2 Football League matches with Stevenage. Both have been in the past 2 seasons, both away from home. How big was their win there last year to keep the Brewers in the division? And how big was it to keep Stevenage's kind of damage their playoff hopes a little bit as well, as my notepad goes all over the floor as I say that because I get a bit too excited. But a great result. Since Gary Bowyer arrived in at the Brewers on the 17th of December, the Brewers ranked 10th in the division for points won, 17 points in 13 matches. Shrewsbury have also been improving since that period. They picked up 16 points. How important could that extra point be? Burton Albion's Gary Monk has won 6 of his 7 previous Football League encounters against Stevenage. He did lose 4-2 in charge of Salford City a few years ago as well. Charlie Webster's 3rd goal of the season he scored against Huddersfield and Wycombe previously. A really, really nice finish, Jake, wasn't it? It was delicately placed into the corner. However, Van Kooten, what's his issue with big goal Reedy? Because he gave away a penalty. Jake, yes or no? Because when Reedy gets the ball, he does really well to go on the far hand side to dribble in and get past that. Have you seen it before I ask you?
Yeah.
Yeah, to dribble past Van Kooten. And Van Kooten is on the kind of his knees a bit and he's nibbling at him. And then there's contact made. I don't think he gets the ball. And I think there is a little bit of a nick in there. I think it's one of those.
So,
would it have been given if it was outside the box? Probably not, because he's inside the box. Yes.
Yeah, it's soft, isn't it? I can see the Burton point of view and saying that it's a dive, but I can also see that TVC has left a little bit on him. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. So yeah, I mean that was contentious. Obviously, Jamie Reid, big goal, Reedy missed the goal and put it wide.
Oh mate, do you think
awful penalty? Awful.
Can
penalty.
I ask you on BGR? Can I also just bring up for the fact that 2 of my League One unpopular opinions, because there is a new one episode. I'm going to do another one. I think for next week there is one coming. At the start of the year, I don't know if you know that I did this to Wine Farley up actually. I genuinely believe
you said he'd score less than 10 goals, didn't you?
I said he'd score less than 10 goals because I was a big believer in he was poor from the back half of last year. He's got 4 goals this year and he's been struggling to find consistency. I know he did score against Wrexham. He got an assist against Exeter. But other than that, I think he scored against Bristol Rovers. Everybody scores against Bristol Rovers pretty much. Northampton, again, scored against them. But 4 goals, he did well last year. He got 22 in all comps. But he did dry up. They weren't all in the league. I think he got 18 in the league in the end. He was up there for top goal scorer. Obviously, and faded away a little bit. Do you think Jamie Reid, October, November time in 2023, he definitely scores that penalty?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a player lacking confidence, isn't he? And what doesn't help, Ben, is if you look at Stevenage recruitment, how many strikers did they bring in this year? Louis Apare came in. Jake Young came in, Tyrese Simpson came in. So all of a sudden, I know Simpson's out on loan at Colway at the minute, isn't he? But there's a lot of competition, and you got to bear in mind Dan Kemp as well has been. I think Jamie Reid last year was Stevenage's main man. Dan Kemp has literally just come and taken that right off him with his performances. So, I'll tell you what isn't. I tell you what wasn't a debate though. The red card. The red card's a red card.
Well, he's second. He's given away a penalty already, hasn't he? And
he still thought he was playing for Stevenage, didn't he?
He swiped him out. My favourite bit of the game, because I watched the highlights back about an hour ago, right? And I watched him back last night. I watched him the first time, and I bet you, David, thought the same, right? And I didn't know. Obviously, I knew the score. When Dan Kemp had a shot and it deflected, it just spun past the post. I literally went, like thinking not knowing the result, but thinking, something could change. I was like, oh man, if I was in that away end doing a video, and I know exactly what Dave was going through, and I bet he was thinking, oh man, like my angina's going here, like, and I just think, and I go back, if that was 3 months ago, Stevenage scored the penalty, it's 1-1. Van Kooten gets sent off at 1-1. That deflected effort goes in. Right? It's a simple, and I know that sounds mad. It is, something's happening at Burton. There's a feel-good factor now. They are picking up points, which is vital for them. Don't forget, before Saturday, they were unbeaten in 6, weren't they? They'd won 3, they'd drawn 3. Then they lost, and now they picked up 13. You say 13 points from the 17 points from 13 games. They picked up 13 points in the last 8 now. And, it's, 15 points in the last 8 now, which is massive for them. I just think maybe 8, 9 games ago, they wouldn't have got that little bit of, not luck because no one, but a little bit of rub of the green, a little bit something going there. And to win football games, you need the look of the green. That is a massive win. I think it was the biggest. I'd go as far to say that is their biggest win of the season yet. To go at Stevenage, win 1-0. I thought it was a terrific goal, by the way, as well. And I'm a big fan of Gary Bowyer. I think he's a good guy, a good manager. They're now keeping clean sheets as well. Which is vital. They needed this staying in games as well. Webster, again, I'm happy for him because he got sent off against Charlton and looked out of his depth. Outstanding again last night as well. JJ McKieran, and John Bodvarsson, hit the woodwork, big chances as well. And again, you're thinking, I thought in the first opening exchanges, Burton with a better side as well. But when Burton are going down to 10 men, again, I bet it's like, here we go again. And I looked at after the game thinking that could have been a Wycombe moment for Fleetwood. Fleetwood were 2-0 up at Wycombe. We hadn't won in 13 matches. We were 2-0 up. Promise gets sent off for a daft foul about 8 seconds before the referee is about to blow. Daft red card, gets sent off. And it was Promise at that time, not Boston. The referee got that one right.
Sure.
Yeah, it might have been Boston, actually. Mistaken identity. And then going through with 10 men and winning shows enormous character. They wouldn't have done that. And something's changed that football club. Look.
Ben's disappeared. I don't know where Ben's gone, but I'll carry the stream.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. A lot has happened at that football club.
A lot's happened in the last 10 seconds, mate, while you were gone.
100%. A great result for them. There's still an awfully long way to go. I said to David, I'd say 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think they needed 48 points. They're 19. When I said earlier, it sounds good. All of a sudden, if you said to me, Burton Albion needed 19 points from 14 games, it's like, yeah, but they've only got this and this. It feels almost like, right, 5, let's break it down. 5 wins, 4 draws. That seems.
Well, I've told David today, I think you want 6 wins.
If we're going to break down the next game, Lincoln, Mansfield, I think you need to try and get 3 out of those 2 minimum. However, Cluppy has been gifting bottom half teams points all over the shop, and it just coincidentally will go back to Burton and win probably. I think Wycombe's a free hit, but something tells me they'll get a point there or something of that like. If they can get 3 out of those 2, let's break it into 2. A point out of Wycombe and Bolton, that's 4 if they can. Shrewsbury, 15th of March, that is a massive game. That feels like Fleetwood Cheltenham last year. Massive. They need to win that game or not lose it, a draw. They need, again, I'll go as far to say 3 points out of those 2. Wigan at home, nothing to play for, 22nd of March, perfect fixture. And then Stockport, if they get a point there. It's regularly picking up points that others don't. It is relegation. It's giving me PTSD. I'm getting into it.
It's tight though, isn't it? It is really tight, and Burton have given themselves the best possible chance, really. Those signings we speak about, Jon Daddy Bodvarsson and Dodson and JJ, they've all made a massive impact. And again, last night, that boy JJ McKiernan again involved in the goal. It's a lovely reverse ball. It was a lovely reverse ball into Burrell, who squared it for Webster. Hit JJ at the bar. Jon Daddy at the bar. It probably should have been a little bit more comfortable for Burton, but they played really well. It was a fantastic performance. It had a lot of grit. That performance last night, Ben, for me, sums up what I've thought of a Gary Bowyer team throughout Gary Bowyer's managerial career so far. Determined, work hard for one another, win the fine margin games, and they did that yesterday. Great support from Burton fans. Less than 100 were there in attendance, Ben. But
117.
Yeah, 117 were there. Outstanding. You could hear them on the highlights.
No, you're getting this all wrong.
Fans
so
win your
I've been
matches.
informed from the fan liaison group that Burton Albion's 3 points has unfortunately been taken off them because they didn't have a sold out away end. To get points in this league, you've got to sell out your away ends.
I will just say that is the second time that RJJ has gone to the Lamex and made it his playground. So good lad, JJ. Good
And
work.
both times, the team that won shouldn't have won 1-0.
Yeah, both teams have won 1-0. So it's clearly a JJ thing. But yeah, no, great win for Burton. Obviously, they come here on Saturday. I'd like Burton to stay up. It's a nice away day, local. But I want 3 points on Saturday. So I apologise.
Yeah, 100%. Do you win on Saturday?
I'm bloody grateful that JJ can't play. Because if he could play, we'd be in bother. Trust me.
Yeah, 100%. Again, Stevenage won 3 on the spin. Now 3 defeats and a draw in the last 4. A lot of games of late. Wycombe 2, Bristol
Rovers. Oh dear, this. Hold on. Nappers, hold on. Oh shit. Sorry.
Jake, language.
Yep. I'm trying to do my talk. There we go. Speed camera's back.
Yeah. Wycombe 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Again, Bristol Rovers at home under Calderon have looked quite glamorous. Away from home, unfortunately, haven't. I tell you what, it's very close down the bottom. You've got Wigan Athletic on 35, Exeter on 35, Bristol Rovers 35, Northampton 33, who seem to be getting away with it. People think they're not quite in this relegation fight after winning back-to-back games.
Well,
they still are. Peterborough 31, Burton 29. They have played more games, but they won't care for love. No money. They're still in the fight. But going back to this game as well, a brilliant result for Wycombe. Dodds' first win in charge, first game at Adams Park. It's a good performance. Cameron Humphreys opened the scoring with a nice goal. Dan Udo did seem to kind of leave the ball as well. He put his arm up thinking, is it mine? It wasn't yours. However, he did get on the score sheet and he probably should have had another one as well. Dan Harvey and Javier Simmons getting both assists. Javier Simmons impressed briefly at times in his Fleetwood spell last year on loan from Hull. Injuries affected that spell as well. Wycombe Wanderers have won each of their last 6 league games against the Gas. They scored 2+ in each of those victories, and none of Bristol Rovers' last 13 Football League away games against the Chairboys have finished as draws. Actually, Bristol Rovers have lost on their last 4 visits to Adams Park as well. No side has lost more away games in League One than Bristol Rovers. They've lost 12 games away from home. Only Stevenage with 8 have fewer away goals in the division than the Gas on 10. Stevenage, half those goals came against Wrexham and Barnsley back-to-back on that Saturday, 1-0 away and 3-1 away from home as well. My biggest issue is when you're in a relegation fight, you need to be sat. You need to pick up points, and which Bristol Rovers have done, and try not and lose away. Get a point away if you can. Don't be hard. You'll be hard to play against. Be half-faced and go and get a point. I'm a big believer if you want to go and get. I did a load of statistics yesterday and tried to work it out that you want to aim for between 1.7 and 1.9 points per game at home to be successful, and then 1.2 to 1.5 points away. If you get in that mark, you're going to be a good side. Preferably be 1.3 plus as well. And that's what Wycombe have been this year. Wycombe have lost one of their last 14 home matches, winning 9, drawing 4, a 1-0 defeat to Huddersfield in January. Brilliant result for the Chairboys, something that they needed. And again, it was a great performance. 14 shots to 3. Bristol Rovers were forced just to 1 shot on target in this one. 5 points separate them and Wrexham now, as the Chairboys, the last 6, it's green, draw, green, draw, draw, green for a win as well. Just what they needed, confidence booster, 2 goals, clean sheet, going into a home game against Wigan Athletic, but then Birmingham and absolute dogfighters in Peterborough and Burton Albion to come as well before going to having Wrexham at home. A tough, tricky period for the Chairboys to come.
Yes. Touching on Bristol Rovers first, Ben. 16 games away from home this year. 3 wins, 1 draw, 12 defeats. They've only got results in 25% of their away games so far this year. If you want any chance of staying in the league, you need to be picking up, 20 points away from home at a minimum, particularly. And they've not been able to do that. They were poor, soft. Calderon made the wrong subs by the sounds of it. It's not a great night for him. Just trying to look at who came on. Reindorf came on. Shaq Ford came on and shortly got himself sent off. What that means for his career at Bristol Rovers, that's now 2 red cards for him. Swinkles, who scored the equaliser against Stockport, he didn't have a great game by the sounds of it. Kofi Shaw's only been called back from Yeovil the day of the game, and Taylor Moore. I think he brought Taylor Moore into a holding midfield role, and I thought he looked out of his depth at right back a little bit in the game that we played against him. So to step him into midfield, where you've got to be technical, certainly coming up against the likes of Simmons, ex-England youth international, Scowen, Cam Humphreys. It was a tough ask, and he didn't quite step up in which the way that his manager would have wanted. But they've been poor on the road, Ben. They've been really poor. They're really soft from set plays. They don't have a huge amount of attacking threat on the road. You look at that team; they've got a lot of attacking players in there, but they're very much individuals rather than a team at the moment, and that's what's costing Bristol Rovers. 1 shot on target, 3 shots overall, not good enough. Whereas for Wycombe, I think it was a standard home win for them. Great to get the first win under the manager. Plethora of options that they've got is becoming a bit of a joke. Kone, obviously he's out for a while, but they've still got the likes of Udo that can step up. Labala, Harvey's been outstanding at left back pretty much all season. Really good win for Dodge. Massively important with Wrexham dropping points. Huddersfield winning that was crucial. Wycombe will be looking at this league, Ben, and thinking that they can finish in second place. They're in the driving seat at the moment. Wrexham have got to get 5 more points than they do over the next 15 games. They stand every chance, Ben. And you got to think they'll have Kone to come back. They'll have. The one thing I feel about Wycombe, and I've always felt this about Wycombe, regardless of what league they're in, they're always a clutch team. Like they always, I remember when they got promoted out of League 2 the year we were in there with them, they scored like so many goals late on, and they just stay in games, and that's a club DNA thing. And Wycombe are so good at doing that, and ultimately, it's got a really good chance of getting them over the line. It's been a great season, and fantastic win for them.
I'm only mentioning your name because you are level with some teams that will be level on points. I do think Wigan will naturally, but would I say
too good to go down?
I think that's every time. I think Wigan this year have been, in my opinion, the worst team to watch in the division.
Yeah,
and I think that Cambridge are poor. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of a neutral point of view, I think every time I've watched, I'm bored. You're flashing the pan. You're good away from home, solid, but at home you're so frustrating to watch, and that's someone that has spoke well about Wigan in the past as well. To be fair, next up we're talking to Wigan. Crawley won, Wigan won. They're slowly about 3 home games on the bounce, got 5 points from it, and all of a sudden Crawley have they're 2 points behind Peterborough, and they are a game in hand on the Brewers. On the same points as well. They are away at the Seaside on Saturday. That should be another point as well, because Blackpool, as we know, 2 games of football at home. But no, seriously, without doing my best Frank Lampard impression there, they'll have to make the full best, I think, to go there and get something. I really do believe that. Then a bit of a gap. Big games coming. They then play 4 of their next 5 after that are at home. Cambridge at home, Lincoln away, Reading at home, Charlton at home, Huddersfield away, Bristol Rovers at home. They need to start winning games of football. I said to David recently, that's a David show, isn't it? I said to David, we don't speak.
It's all about David. I'm meeting him for lunch on Saturday. It's all about David.
Is it? Where are you going?
Yeah. Ritz, mate.
Huddersfield we're coming to, and there's a reason for that.
Going to the Ritz, mate. Weatherspoons. Can't wait.
Yeah. We're going to come to Huddersfield in a minute. Because we've got some nice stats on that I want to use. Not that I forgot.
I've got a nice stat on this one.
Anyway, we're going to come to Huddersfield. We'll end with a banger. A good point. Again, probably the worst game of the lot. Again, solid for Wigan. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Ben, I've been speaking to our friend Charlie Keegan today, and he sent me some stats as to Wigan Athletics so far this season, right? Ben, I want you to guess where you think this would place Wigan in the league. So I've got stats, and you need to guess where you think that lands in the league. So Wigan this year have had 326 shots. Where do you think that makes them lie in the League One table for number of shots taken?
Is that shots or just shots on target?
We've got shots on target to come.
21st.
17th.
Okay.
Shots on target, they've had 100. Over 30, over what? 30. How many games have we
3.3 a game.
30 games.
Stockport, I've had over 5-0, so I'll go 20th.
That's bang on, 20th. Corners, 146. Where do you think that makes them lie?
We had 16 yesterday. 23rd.
15th, so not bad. And goals, 28. Where does that put them?
Well, they are one of the lowest in the division at home.
They
I
are,
know that.
they are, but
they are. I think they are. They've only got 0.90. The lowest in the division, I'll go for.
They have scored the least amount of goals in the division.
This is what I mean. You are.
They're not very good to watch, are
but
they?
Wigan, right? They remind me of Fleetwood 2 years on the ground. They get results because of the quality on the pitch. They aren't tactically brilliant. They are so flat. There's no X factor. There's no pace. There's no speed. There's no.
They had X factor. The reason why Wigan won't go down is because they've had Tello Asgard for half a season, who's done enough to keep them up.
To be fair, to be fair, we say X factor. There's nothing talented on there, is there?
No. Well, Leona Lewis was good a few years ago, but that's quite a while.
Defensive stats. Don't get me wrong. Wigan have been brilliant, but
yeah, absolutely. But this is Wigan Athletic, who predominantly in at this level have been a really good outfit, who have gone on and
4 home games this year as well.
Exactly. Not good 15. Enough. It's not
That's
enough,
what I mean. Defensively structured, you're fine. But someone comes to the Brick Community Stadium, right, and they'll sit in. Well, you've got sitting in against sitting in. There's no. Oh, I don't know.
And you got to think in the summer they're going to lose. Dale Taylor will go back, who's their top scorer and is probably one of their best players. Where Wigan have a massive rebuild in the summer. Yeah, they've got the cash because they sold Tello Asgard, but they've got a lot of work to do. They need to improve the home form. They need to add more goals. Defensively, fine. I agree with you. They're spot on. They don't concede many. But you'd imagine they'd probably lose Tickle in the summer. So that's a goalkeeper that's outperforming his XG against. So, there's a lot of work to do. I mean, are Wigan too good to go down? Wigan have probably been too good to go down so far this season. But I think the next 15 games, 16 games that they've got, I think you might well see a real slump. And well, we are seeing a real slump.
Last year, Maloney got away with it. They were 8 points drifting. They had that real good feel-good factor. They went to Derby and started really well. He got away with it. They finished mid-table. And the season was right. Next season's our season. They've made I think they've been worse this year.
They've gone backwards.
And granted, Charlie Wycombe has left the football club. Granted, Hughes left the football club. Granted, Tello Asgard left 3-4 weeks ago, right? Don't get me wrong. Up until even this season, they haven't, and that's down to recruitment. Don't get me wrong, but Maloney. If Maloney wasn't called Sean Maloney and he was Scott Brown or he was Mark Kennedy, he'd be labelled as that. And for me, don't get me wrong, he's doing a good job. I don't think he's the man to take Wigan to the next level. I really, and Wigan is a football club. I have people go, "Oh, you support me." I actually really like as a football club, and I hope they do well. I have nothing against any club in League One, and I don't want to deliberately talk bad about teams. I don't like it. I don't like talking about managers getting sacked. I don't think it's sackable. But I watch Wigan, they're flat. There's no fizz in them. And for me, I'm a big believer when you are defensively well structured and you aren't scoring goals. I'm going to tell you this now, and this will happen. Before you start scoring goals, you will concede goals before you. Because that great defensive line will eventually crumble. You'll get injuries. You'll make mistakes. You can't be switched on for. I said this about Tranmere after 4 games. We were all going, Atkins is a genius. We've only conceded 1. I went, you've got nothing in attack. As soon as you can start conceding goals, as soon as we can go 1-0 down, I'm a big or 2 or concede 1 or 2. they haven't got the quality to get back into games. And there'll be, I think there's going to be a few 1-0s, 2-1 defeats where you think you get frustrated watching it. As soon as these draws, at home, and 4 wins at home is not good enough, there'll be questions asked. But there shouldn't be yet. But yeah, you can mention defensive stats all you like. But for me, I've not enjoyed watching Wigan this year at all.
I agree, mate. Spot on. Good point for Crawley, though. And a really good goal. Great goal, by the way. Charlie Barker, great goal. Really good. That strike that was worthy of winning a game, never mind just drawing it. And they've had a real renaissance at home, haven't they? And we've spoken about the importance already of the Broadfield Stadium and how tight and compact it is and how difficult they can make it for teams to go. You look at the recent games they've had there. They beat Stevenage, draw with Wigan. They lost to Wrexham, but only narrowly, and there was a referee and blunder in that. So, yeah, signs are improving for Crawley. They just need to try and, like Burton, take a couple of points on the road against teams that they don't expect to pick up points from and win those games at home, and they stand every chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Shrewsbury 0, Huddersfield 1. A great result for Town. Huddersfield's Michael Duff has won 5 of his last 6 against the Shrews, which is quite an impressive record. Shrewsbury are winless in their last 14 league games played on a Tuesday, drawing 4, losing 10. It's a 2-1 win in August 2023. Who do you think it was against?
What, on a Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Well, it's either you or us, isn't it?
It's not.
Oh, is it not?
Oh,
I don't know.
Burton.
Oh.
David knew it straight away.
He texted me. He texted me about 3 minutes ago saying, I'm really enjoying this show. I wonder what he says now.
Yeah, there you are, David. Bringing you back down to earth, mate. Down to earth. A great result for Huddersfield, who have now recorded back-to-back victories. Again, we said about Huddersfield being safe inside the playoffs. Those 2 wins have buffed them up a little bit. It's their 16th win of the season, another clean sheet as well. Again, very fine margins in this game. Possession, Huddersfield did dominate. They were in the game, only having 1 shot on target. Limited Huddersfield, typical Gareth Ainsworth team, but nothing up there. They just struggled, didn't they? They just struggled to kind of show any real quality in between both boxes. And that's the difference, isn't it? Huddersfield have got Josh Koroma, 8 minutes from time. Just find something that, Shrewsbury can't. They would have just got a point from this. So many games, they could have just got a point here, a point at Charlton, a point at Stockport. And you go, yes, we're in games. They've only lost 1-0. They've lost all 3 of those 1-0. They would have lost these games 2-3, maybe 3-1. With their old manager, in charge. I just think that under if they're better, those 3 points, yes, you can say, they're only 3 draws. It's a win. I'm a big believer in you draw 3, it's 1 win. 3, and especially early in the season, if they draw those 3 games, it's as simple as this. They're a point behind Peterborough. And that is a sucker punch. And too many times this year, they are losing fine margins. They're losing the 50-50s. And Gareth Ainsworth normally gets the fine edges of them. And it's a massive month for this football club to come. They've been improving. At what cost? They need to slowly turn, victories. You need to win. I think I need to see Shrewsbury just win back-to-back games. They are, at this moment, a flash in the pan. They got, a point at Blackpool, which was great. They lose to Leighton Orient 1-0 as well. Jamie Donnelly, surprise, got that one. They beat Wrexham, then the 1-0 defeat at Charlton, then the 1-0 defeat against Stockport, then beat Mansfield, and beat, rather than where you think, wow, back-to-back win, brilliant. Go to Reading and get a point. Should be more. You miss a penalty, you miss opportunities in the game of football. You give them a goal. Bolton the other day, 3-2, fine margins. You lose a game of football. It probably should have been more, to be fair. Huddersfield 1-0. Disappointed with that. Again, I just think that those fine margins, so many times Fleetwood, and I know I keep going on about Fleetwood, I can just you experience a little bit more.
Talk about League One and Fleetwood.
No, I am, but man, I miss it. Can I just say, there's a reason why I want to give up the vlogs. You just look at the views and the games I've had to watch this year. I miss this league like back shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, I can. Yeah, but the thing about Shrewsbury, Ben, is I completely understand where you're coming from. Their next, for me, their next, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games define Shrewsbury Town season. If we are talking about a Shrewsbury team that maybe go unbeaten during that run, let me run you through Shrewsbury's next 5 games, Ben. Stevenage at home on the weekend. Again, they think they can get a win in. Then heading into March, next Saturday away at Peterborough, right?
Oh,
Then the Tuesday after at home
Bristol
to Bristol
Rovers.
Rovers. And then that Saturday away at Exeter. And then the
They've
next
got
Saturday
Burton
after
then,
that
15th of
at
March.
home to Burton. This is a make or break 3 weeks for Shrewsbury Town.
I think they need to get in
8
order.
from 8. I think they need 8 points.
I think 8. I think, including the Reading game that Luke's included, I'll be going 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 from the next 6.
If they can win 3, I mean, they'll want to win their home games, don't they? So you're talking about beating Stevenage, beating Bristol Rovers, and looking to beat Burton. So if they can win that, and then lose. They won't want to. The problem is that Bristol Rovers game, the Bristol Rovers and the Peterborough game, are probably more important because they're the teams that are directly above them. They can beat them and stop them from going even further away from them.
Yeah.
That would be absolute. That would be pivotal. So
Who's predicting it?
yeah, massive couple of weeks coming up for Shrewsbury. We'll know a lot more, Ben, when we're sat here in a month's time, talking after that Reading game, before, looking ahead to the game against Birmingham the week after, if this Shrewsbury team have got the minerals to stay up. But obviously not the only team to play in the game last night, the Huddersfield game. Yeah, like you say, fine margins. Huddersfield have just got that extra bit of quality, haven't they? Anthony Evans put a nice ball across, and Josh Carone was there at the back stick to finish. Yeah, good win for Huddersfield. I didn't think they were vintage. I don't think they've been vintage for some time now, but still, to get a win. If they want to be involved in any sort of top 2 race at the moment, they've got to win games, and they've got to win a lot of them. I think we're talking about a Huddersfield team that probably will have to settle for the playoffs rather than automatics. I think Wycombe, Wrexham, and Stockport particularly are on a slightly different level to them. But still, they've got a great opportunity. 55 points from 31 games, back-to-back wins now, and they'll be looking up. They'll just be hopeful that Joe Taylor can make a return soon and start firing the goals in.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. Any questions for the last 10 minutes? We'll go for a 10-minute Q&A tonight. We are still... Let's have a
Power hour. Remember,
we've done it with the 26 games, but we're 22 away from 16,500. So subscribe down below if you haven't already, and like the stream as well. Get your questions in. Quick fire questions. Do you think the Millers could still get relegated? Nah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
No, they're ugly enough to stay up. We should talk about Cambridge.
Yes.
Neil Harris. But do you like the appointment? Yes or no?
I do. Neil Harris, I think, is an appointment that he knows the football club. He knows the area. He knows the supporters. He got some positive results last year. It took a while for him to get going as well.
Firefighter. He's a firefighter, and they need a firefighter.
And I think that they could have appointed God, and he wouldn't have kept him up. To be fair, I think they've gone the best as they can. Very surprised that Dina Manry didn't put his name in the hat.
If he tried to,
yeah, I think he probably put his jotty eye in for every job. To be fair, but no, I think it's a decent appointment. I think it's the best he can do. I like Bonner as director of football. I will tell you this now: in the next 2 years, where he leaves a football club, and Bonner will manage that football club again, I think that they've got the next 2 managers there in line for each other a little bit as well. I think that they've had to try and get some of the Cambridge DNA back a little bit, try and fill 2 voids, and they thought, right, how can we go and get 2 people that know the football club, that look like the football club, that know the area, that gets them back playing. And they've lost the way a little bit. They seem like a bunch of kids that's not no teach at this moment in time. They seem so lost on that pitch a little bit. They're 8 points adrift. They're going to have to go and get 25 points from 15 games. They've got 23 points in 31, conceded 56 goals and won 5 games all season. And I think they've won one in 11 as well. And
Can I be honest?
It's a 2.5 year contract as well.
I like Neil Harris, but I don't like Mark Bonner. I don't think Mark Bonner's a director of football at all. Directors of football is a completely different skill set to being a head coach. Like Mark Bonner, when he was a manager, very hands around the players' shoulders, looking after them, doing whatever it takes. It's a completely different skill set. I'm not quite sure. I mean, Mark Bonner might prove me wrong, but I'm not sure he has the connections within football because it is so important, Ben. And you'll have seen, Fleetwood got a director of football, technical director of the same ilk. Have you guys got one?
Not really.
Well, having spoken to Jez, our director of football and head of football operations, no. Listen, because it's important. It is so important to have connections in that role because that's how you leverage really good loan players, and that's how you have good relationships with other clubs. Your directors of football. So, but Mark Bonner, I'd like him as a bloke. I like him as a coach, but director of football, I don't know. Neil Harris, I really like. Cambridge want to give themselves every best possible chance of staying up. Neil Harris was the man to come back in.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Question,
I'll let you answer that question.
Well, it's Lincoln City, obviously.
What's your order, mate?
Well, it won't. My cheat day was yesterday, Ben, so I'll have to be sticking to my calories. So it will be whatever looks like decent calories for me.
Mate, what you need to go for, right?
Yeah, what do you
Someone
suggest?
that is bulking at the minute, right? And just trying to get
I'm
as many
not
carbs.
bulking, though.
I know you're not bulking, but trust me here when I say this. For 1,000 calories, right? Which yes, I'm only get 19.
I don't want 1,000 calories. That's too much.
Skip your lunch, skip your breakfast. Genuinely, right? This will fill you all day. Get a meat feast pizza. Take the pepperoni off, so it's just chicken and ham. It's 1,000 calories for 85 grams of protein, which fills you all day, and you'll be full till 6 o'clock, and you won't need to eat. That's what I do, and it works.
Okay. They are the
or you can have or have a small one with some chicken bites or something. But
that's
honestly,
what I was thinking.
I'm a big believer in that healthy food doesn't taste nice. Question for Ben: if you could take John Van or Freddie on loan, which one would you choose? Freddie.
Yeah, you can't have Freddie. Sorry.
What?
You can't have him.
Yeah. Well,
I can't have either. They are.
Yeah.
You like Freddie Draper, don't you? You like Freddie Draper.
He's all right at League 2 level, yes.
Scored a few goals recently.
Yeah. Do you think Orient will be the team that gets some points from the Blues at the end of the month? I think the Birmingham won't drop a point.
I think that'll be us, mate. I think that'll be us saying, I think we'll come to St Andrews and beat you.
Yeah.
Bring it on. We nearly did it in the FA Cup.
Yeah. Our sporting director used to be our academy manager for the last 10 years, so he's experienced in both player development and recruitment. Worked at other clubs before us. Yeah, fair play. Unlike us, they still have games remaining. What do you reckon we'll get in our next 5? Oh,
let me get the fixtures. Let me get the fixtures. I'll do it. Right.
Oh, no problem, mate. You get the fixtures, boy.
Lincoln City away. Write that one off. You're never getting anything.
1.
No, I think they'll
we need
lose.
to do predictions for Saturday. Oh, have we done predictions for Saturday?
We didn't, mate. Did we do them?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
But Mansfield at home, I think Burton will win that one.
Yeah, 4.
I'm going for 3. Wycombe away, I've got none. So I'm gonna continue with 3. Feel free to join in at any time, Ben.
What?
Wycombe
sorry, I
away,
went.
mate.
I liked one, but nobody was at home for like 5 seconds. Then what?
Wycombe away, mate.
Away. You know me. After the hour mark, I go none.
Bolton at home.
1.
And then Shrewsbury away. They can get 6 points from the next 5, I think.
1. Keep right on, guys. Gonna miss you guys. Thank you so much, James. Legend.
Oh, you can come back, James. There's nothing stopping you.
I'll still be doing Birmingham content on TikTok next year.
Of course you will. Oh, Birmingham. Should we talk about them? Because they've got to an FA Cup.
They got to a Champions League final.
They've got to a Virtue Trophy final. So we should we should really congratulate them and hope they enjoy their lovely day and hope that they get you a ticket because you'd like one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I might, if I do get a ticket, I might do a weekend in London because you've got MK Dons, I think, on the Saturday, I think.
lovely.
Yeah, Saturday. So,
Oh, lovely.
yeah, well done for them to get into the final. Deservedly got there. And
Bradford did all right, I thought.
Mansfield went off
well.
injured, which is a blow.
Bradford did well though to take them to them.
If he passed his medical this time. Oops.
Oh, that comes with a little bit of bitterness, doesn't it?
There's no bitterness. What did I say on deadline day? The show.
You said a lot of things. We were live for 3 hours.
I said that I thought he should leave the football club.
They are.
And I think Wigan is a decent destination for him. He's a League One football club. It's local to the area. He stays local. He's a progressive football club that will get him better and will sell him on to, no disrespect to Wigan, a better club at a better level if Wigan don't go up. So it gives him a chance to go back to playing League One. And yeah, the only way that I can maybe see him going elsewhere is probably somewhere close to his home, his young family. And look, I wish Brendan all the luck in the world.
They are then. What a lovely show we just had. It's all right, Ben. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, my Ethan. Sod off, Sue. Sod off.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
My Brendan. No.
That'll be gone in the summer. Ethan will be gone.
Well, my Ethan replaced with my Brendan. Oh my God.
Oh my.
What?
Yeah. Would you like a season ticket at Lincoln next year if he comes here?
Oh, never
would you move to? Do you want to come and
live in the worst cathedral with the worst cookies, the worst brownies, the worst shortbread, still the best dog. Still the best dog.
Do you want to?
I'm not going to take this out on Connie.
Do you want to come and live in? Do you want to come and live in a spare room so you can see Brendan every week?
Mate, let's have it on. Mate. Me and Jake will have some live content, football content together, that is, in the summer as well. Yeah, there we are.
People are going to start spreading rumours, Ben.
Yeah. Right.
No idea,
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Drop a like, drop a subscription on your way out as well. Until Sunday, we will see you later for another League One Bonanza, a League One Power Hour, or two. See you later.
Oh, let's not do 2 hours, Ben.
Should we just go in the middle, a 90-minute special? Let's do it.
Night, everyone.